Hello and welcome back to Canon Chatter TV. I am your host, I am Lee, and this is the first of a brand new series called Desert Island Kickabouts, where I invite my distinguished guests along and we talk about three matches from Arsenal history which mean a lot, which we could burn on a DVD and we can play it on a desert island, forgetting the complexities of having a DVD player and television set. And with me today is a guest that has been on this channel before a couple of times on the chat alongs. I'm joined by Posh Bertie. How are you, mate?
Hello. When you said 3 Arsenal matches, this is the thing.
Or
Two of my
three
3 matches. Two of my matches are Arsenal related.
Okay.
One of them is not to do with Arsenal. So that's an
absolutely fine.
intriguing
Ooh,
subject.
That's very, very interesting indeed. So,
it's one you might not expect, but it means a lot to me.
well, that is what this program is all about. So why don't we start this off by asking you the question that everyone will want to know. How did we become Posh Bertie?
If you listen to my voice, I think you'll know why I'm called Posh Bertie.
I have no idea, mate.
So I mean, I was basically called a posh boy way back in school. So that hasn't really changed.
You called worse, mate.
I didn't really notice until until they mentioned it. I thought, oh wow, I might as well double down on it. Well, not and then I embraced it fully. Now, for those of you viewers that may not know, me and Lee kind of knew each other through a wrestling YouTube channel. We'll give it a plug called Cultaholic.
Absolutely.
And one of their illustrious presenters, the great Tom Campbell, who may have been an inspiration to this Desert Island Kicks podcast here.
Kickabouts, get it right.
Kickabouts, yes. Let's not get sued too much.
Absolutely.
He did a show called Love You Bye Fridays on Twitch, where we all called in and spoke to him. It's a lot more convincing than you would think, for those of you who don't know Cultaholic. And I called in.
The reason why I'm here.
Absolutely. I called in, and the reason why the whole Posh Bertie thing started is because the Twitch chat just said, "Who is this Tory in the chat? Who is this Toff?"
Did they say more than "Who is this Tory"?
Yeah, but we're not allowed to say those words. This is a family-friendly channel. But yeah.
Thanks, Stephen. Hi. That's the boss, by the way, if you remember.
So I thought we were referencing another Stephen when we were talking about.
No, not Mr. Skodes. No. He's getting a cheap plug on our show. How about that?
Yeah, that's how me and Lee knew each other. But Lee also called into that show, and he became part of a group of people that we knew each other via a group of people that streamed on Twitch and knew Cultaholic, and we had many Discord servers of our own, and that's how we knew each other. We were both massive Arsenal fans, so it was all good from there.
And you know what? During that lockdown period where we all got to know each other, honestly, I wasn't going to go this way, but it's funny how a conversation like this can go. Mental health wise as well, just being involved in something as active as that group was and is during the time when I was very much restricted to being in this flat because I'm asthmatic, as I may have revealed or not. It didn't really do my health an awful lot of good. Yes, I had time here with my wife and my beautiful little daughter, but I really missed, as you probably, as a lot of our viewers all know as well, actually, I'm very much a people person, and I love interacting with people, and I missed it terribly. And that's why when Tom's show came about, I thought, you know what, let's give this a go. And it become an awful lot of fun, and just all of a sudden my YouTube career, my Twitch career sort of launched. Stephen Best, who's the guy who co-owns the channel, he actually saw us doing which I will now term as a chat along, against Liverpool, and he dropped the news on me that I'd like you on the channel. Which is funny because they picked me up nowhere because we got beat by Liverpool that night.
I will echo on what you just said about that period being a very dark time. Yeah, it was the same for me as well. The latter stage of 2020, if you remember the whole Tier 4 Scotch eggs as substantial meals era, that was it was a very dark period in my life. I hated it. And I went into 2021 just at the lowest point ever. But I went and I met that group actually because I was a Cultaholic Patreon member.
Yeah.
And every Saturday evening, back when Justin Henry was involved with Cultaholic, we all did
one of the writers over there
pay-per-view watch-alongs hosted by him, and that's how I knew a lot of people from that group. And I noticed that they all streamed a couple of them all streamed on Twitch, and that's how I'll mention him. I first saw Pete and his Twitch channel.
Considerable Pete.
Yes.
On Twitter.
Yes. I saw his stream. I said, "Hey, I'm just checking in. How is everything?"
Yeah.
And he was part of a Discord server, his own Discord server. I joined that, and the rest is history. And they made the lockdown period of 2021 so much more easier to deal with, and for that I am truly grateful. I can't thank that group enough.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. I couldn't echo that anymore, mate. And all of a sudden, that's through this conversation through direct. I didn't expect it to go at all, especially after that. But hey, so let's bring this back because we are on an Arsenal channel. So the reason why we're here, this concept of being on this desert island where you can't see anybody, but you have this mystical DVD player that's managed to work itself, perhaps on solar power. We're on this economic age, right? So, well, there you go. So, I'm going to ask each of my guests that appear on here to pick three matches. It doesn't have to be Arsenal. That makes it very interesting. But I'd like to ask you for your first match.
Well, it's one that I think we discussed before, whether that was back when I was a Twitch streamer or during one of the chat-alongs. Just to clarify, as you know, I am a very young man. I don't mean to make you in an existential crisis here, but I was born in 2001. I know, I'm not proud of it either. So a lot of these matches are more recent than some of you may think. But the first match I'm going to mention is Arsenal versus Hull in the FA Cup final 2014.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a really interesting one to start with. I have a story on this one as well. But why does this mean so much to you? I think I probably know the reason why, but...
So as a very young man, obviously whilst I was a football fan ever since I started talking, I didn't experience the great team of Henry and Bergkamp and Robert Pires that much. You know, back when we actually won trophies on the regular. I was too young to fully experience that team. So seeing Arsenal, I didn't get to actually witness with my own eyes and remember, as the years went by, Arsenal winning a trophy.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that we hadn't won a trophy in 9 years, and all the other clubs, apart from Tottenham, obviously, did win trophies.
Yes.
And does the Aldi Cup count as a trophy? I don't think so. But but then
for debate.
when we got to the FA Cup final in 2014, I was actually confident because we at that time we were actually before the FA Cup, we actually spent a lot of that season on top of the table. I mean, 5-1 defeat to Liverpool and a 6-0 defeat to Chelsea later. We were back in fourth again, but that's by the by. We actually were quite decent before then. And I thought, you know what, this FA Cup could be a chance to see us finally win a trophy. I mean, who knows? I was in a way confident about it.
Mm.
I was. I'll mention the semi-final against Wigan Athletic. When we were 1-0 down, I was like, no,
My
that's
eyes
enough.
just gone like this because I'll tell you why
I
in a
was
minute.
tempted to turn the TV off, but and then we won on penalties, which was a bit of a. Usually, you don't really see Arsenal make all these miraculous comebacks like that.
Was that the Kim Kallstrom one?
It was when Kim Kallstrom played for us those glorious 5 months.
That was his best
and then
kick
he
of
was injured for
Arsenal's
the rest of the
career, wasn't
season.
it? That's it. Absolutely, I remember it very well. So, and then of course the cup final you're talking about, we we're going with the expectations, and of course Arsenal being Arsenal,
Yes,
made it extremely
2-0
difficult.
down inside 10 minutes or whatever, and I was tempted. I think Hull missed a very good chance to go 3-0 up as well, and I thought
One
we're
off the
going to
line,
get
if I remember, mate.
we're going to get absolutely dominated by Hull City. This is not a 9-year trophy drought. And it's gonna go in double figures. It's gonna be 10 and everything. So I was very close to just turning the TV off and just doing something else because I knew how it was going to go.
Yeah.
And the moment I was about to reach for the remote, Cazorla scored that miraculous free kick outside the box to pull one back, and I thought, okay, I'll give this another chance.
Game on, man.
Game on. All right. And then we started to play well. We started playing really well. I went into the second half. Okay, we got to regroup. There might be a chance here. Yep. Was it Koscielny who scored the equaliser?
It was bundled in, wasn't it? Yeah. We haven't talked, by the way, for my audience here, we haven't talked about any matches that we're going to talk about. I remember this literally off this old noggin up here. Yes, Koscielny scored the equaliser. I can't remember what time it was, but yeah, it was an absolute mess of a goal, and we thought he might have gone down injured. But yes, we went to 2-2.
I didn't care. It was 2-2. I did not. I was, and then we went into extra time, and obviously you know what happened then. One of the most criminally underrated Arsenal midfielders to ever play for us, Aaron Ramsey. Underrated, not the greatest of all time, obviously. But he was very underrated.
Stephen again there, mate.
He was very underrated, Aaron Ramsey. He was a fantastic player. He scored the winner, and it was one of the best feelings I've ever had. It was just a fantastic moment. And for the first time Arsenal did win a trophy when I was alive, but before then. But
you've got to remember,
I was like 4 years old then, so I didn't really remember.
Yeah.
But for the first time in my life where I remember and I can actually witness it, I saw Arsenal win a trophy for the first time in 9 years. And it was just amazing. And just biggest smile on my face when I went into school the next day.
Yeah,
because I was that young.
An absolute belt of a choice for a first game. I tell you what, on this series as well, because you're hitting me with a game where I missed the start of it because my flipping car broke down. I went to get my little girl some shoes.
Did you think it was a sign of what was to come in the match?
Oh, I'm getting there. So we got my little girl some shoes. We were driving back. Then obviously the car broke down. Got recovery. Got the girls home, and I'm obviously with Mr. RAC, and I'm completely out of any sort of data area, whatever. Then I'm getting notifications on my phone, aren't I? 1-0 Hull, 2-0 Hull. Oh, what the dickens is going on here? Back up to Vauxhall. I managed to there's a Vauxhall garage about a mile away from me here. So I had my car over there, and I literally ran just there probably about a mile. Yeah, you'd know that because I'm a magnificent athlete, obviously. And yeah, I got in for the most of it. And coming towards obviously the Koscielny goal, I remember, I think I caught that one live. I did catch that one live. And then, if you're thinking, well, it's all to play for, Ramsey scores that wonderful winner. And I'm not afraid to admit it in front of all our subscribers. It brought me to tears as well after so many years of hurt and a couple of cup final defeats as well. Yeah, it was just wonderful, and I felt so good for Arson as well to pick up that trophy after so much criticism.
He was
And
under
you
so
don't,
much pressure that season.
yeah,
Not. I'm going to admit it. I was one of those people criticizing him, especially on the opening day when we lost 3-1 to Aston Villa that season.
God,
So,
yeah, it was tough times, mate, wasn't it?
mm,
But you know, what a way to end that season, and
mm.
what magnificent choice for your first match.
Yeah, that was a season of many highs and lows, as I
Yeah,
mentioned, from going up there to all the way back down there to going up there again. It was a roller coaster of a season, but
and
I remember it.
and I remember Yo-Yo Sonogo making such a difference. It's bizarrely right, and I know he'd never had the greatest career, but just that physical threat he had made a difference in the extra time, didn't it? And yeah, oh wow,
Oh,
brilliant one to start this series with. Thank you, mate. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
good old
So
Yaya Sanogo. I just realised
yeah,
when it comes to when it comes to my matches here, starting off in absolute depression to then end the game with absolute delight.
yeah.
There's a bit of a theme in these matches. I've just realised.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll stick a pin in that for just a minute
Mm,
because there are a few other things that we are going to take along to Cannon Chatter Island, right?
okay.
So just to sort of, you know, make the conversation a little interesting and sort of break it up from the football
Mm,
kind of thing. As you will know because you may well have heard me play my guitar once or twice. I'm a
okay.
bit of a musician myself, and I love a bit of music. Now,
Mm.
just to keep me, especially over this recent period, music's kept me kind of sane, and I would imagine that would probably apply to a lot of people. So, do you have a particular piece of music or an album that you'd like to take with you, and why?
Well, first of all, I don't play any instruments. Unlike yourself, the only time I did was when we were forced to play the recorders in year 3, back in
Brilliant.
primary school. That
I
was
can
the
still
only
remember
time I ever
doing that.
played an instrument. Uh, but in terms of music, you know what? Truth be told, I ever since 2015, I didn't pay much attention to current music as you would expect someone my age would usually
Okay.
do. There was a song called Trap Queen by the brilliantly named Fetty Wap from 2015, and I hated that song so much, and everyone seemed to like it. It was just, you couldn't understand what he was saying, and there was too much auto-tune, and I thought, this is what music's going to go to back in the days. That's how it's going to go, and I was kind of right. I'm not a big fan of grime music or drill music.
Strangely, nor am I. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
like
What a shock.
like back at like maybe some other people in my generation are.
Mm.
I'm not a WAP chap either. But one of I would say an album I would take is probably Hot Fuss by The Killers, just because it's a
Ooh,
really good album, and I like The Killers. They're a good band.
that's fair enough. I can't really elaborate on too much. That's a
Mm.
great choice. Okay, fantastic. Um,
It's the one with Mr. Brightside on it. So need I say more?
oh, of course it is. Of course it is. All right then. Does it have any sort of significance in any other story, or it's just because it's
It's a very good album, isn't it?
it's a banging song?
My dad also likes The Killers, so
Okay, well, fair enough. Cool. Right. Well,
my music knowledge is very uh I'm not very knowledgeable at all. So I did kind of struggle a bit when it came to
that's
having to
okay.
choose what kind of music themed thing I wanted to take on this
Yeah,
here desert island.
that's all cool. Yes, you know, you can. That's the beauty of this. You can pick whatever you like, and for whatever reason you like. It's all a
Mm.
bit of creative freedom, if you like. So, if you're happy to, we'll go straight toward match number 2 then. So, what is your second choice?
This is a match that we mentioned once on one of our chat-alongs.
All right.
In fact, I remember. I think, yeah. If my very good memory serves me right, one of our co-hosts was wore a T-shirt that was dedicated to this match. I think
Ooh.
I can't really remember. It's Arsenal versus Barcelona in 2011, the one at the
Ooh,
Emirates where
wow.
we beat them.
Yeah. When Jack Wilshere ran the show, right? I spoke about this
Yes.
literally about 3 weeks ago when
Mm.
Jack retired.
Yes, that was again a very memorable match. It felt almost like winning a trophy in a way, beating that incredible team. This was back in. I was like 10 years old back then, so I had to say, Mum, can I like stay up a bit late and watch the match? No, it's a school
I had to
night.
ask the missus, mate. So yeah.
Practically, after a bit of begging, really,
Yeah.
my mum was like, "Fine, just but it's straight to bed afterwards, young man."
Yeah, right. With all that adrenaline, right?
Adrenaline in my soul. But
I get that reference. I'm sure a lot of our wrestling fans will too.
Again, much like the whole match, it started off not very good. We were 1-0 down, but I kind of expected it because that Barcelona team from 2011 was incredible. One of the best teams in the world back then. And they were all over the shop with us. I can't remember who scored Barcelona's goal. Was it? I think it might have been Messi. I can't really remember.
Off the top of my head, mate, I can't think of it.
And I thought, we were going to get quite a battering in this match. That's what I thought. I thought this is not going to end well. And then we equalised. I think it was Van Persie who scored the equaliser.
Rings the bell. I think so.
Yeah, and I thought, oh wow.
Correct me otherwise.
It's 1-1. This is back when Fabregas was playing for us, and most people remember him playing for Barcelona a year later. But
yeah.
He was good in that match. But he was Van Persie equalised. It was all good. And then it was 1-1 for quite a bit. Second half came, still 1-1. We managed to, prevent them from scoring a second goal, which was very promising. And of all players to win the match for us, the man who scored 4 goals against Liverpool, Mr. Andre Arshavin, scored the winner of all the players, and my jaw dropped on the floor, and I was celebrating all over the house. This was. I may have probably woke all of the neighbours up, but at the time, I didn't really care. We were beating a fantastic Barcelona team. Andre Arshavin, of all people, scoring the goal, and we won the match. And less said about the second leg, the better. But the fact that we beat that incredible team, it was just amazing. It felt like winning a trophy almost, because it was the only time
should wrap it around the stadium, shouldn't they? Yeah, that time we beat Barca. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was again phenomenal choice. I'm sure it will come up again actually. But it was one of them. Well, we sort of teetered with the Champions League for a little while, didn't we? Remember that Champions League?
Yeah, this was I think we tried to qualify for that tournament last season, but I don't know. I think something lost our biggest rivals. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Someone on this channel might have predicted us finishing 5th.
I predicted us to finish 12th for last season, so don't. I'm
the optimistic one, mate.
But yeah, that match was amazing, and it also gives me the chance to see that amazing Barcelona team from 2011, which was a very good team. So
it wasn't bad, was it? They knew how to kick a ball about a bit. They knew how to keep the possession a bit as well, which was
couldn't do it at the Emirates though.
No, not that day. Not when Jackie was dominating that midfield as well, mate.
Of course, yeah.
Bless his heart. New under-18 coach, isn't he?
He was the unsung hero. Yeah, it's great to see him involved with Arsenal again. And it's a shame he had to retire so soon. He was very injury prone, wasn't he? And it's just sad to see him retire so soon.
But from his experience in doing that and having so much football, especially as a young lad as well, mate, I don't know if you saw the video I put out when he announced his retirement. I was there when he was playing in a reserve game at Barnet up at Underhill, and when he sort of I first saw him, it must have been about 15, 16. He looked phenomenal. I believe the boss was in the crowd as well that day. Arsene was in the crowd, and just to find a talent like that who was left-footed, loved to tackle, which has probably, it probably shortened his career in some ways because he was so liking
Yeah.
that combative element of the game. But for him to spray the ball around like he did, I believe he may well have scored a long-range goal in this game as well. I'm struggling to remember that. I just remember his just general play was superb, and it was just and it was just to spark his rise, and then to get to the first team, and then hit the levels like he did against that Barcelona side, which, like you say, was probably miles ahead of everybody in world football that time.
I always wonder what could have been in terms of his career if he never got injured in 2011. I always wonder that. He could have possibly been one of the best English midfielders in modern football. He could have been. He had so much potential. And if he didn't get injured in 2011, I reckon he would have been one of the best midfielders that Arsenal have ever had, almost.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, in terms of quality, in Arsenal midfielders, Merson probably is quite close.
Yeah, but he could have been he could have been a fantastic player, fantastic midfielder for England as well. It's just a shame about the injury he took. He was never really much the same since. He was still very decent, but he was not the same as he was or could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of hoping in his new job he'll relay that experience to our younger guys, and he'll probably have a good idea of what to avoid and what and going in for tackles maybe he shouldn't have done. He'll pass on that knowledge and stuff. So thank you for your second choice. That was great. Now, to breaking this up again, we are going to talk about a luxury item. Now, this can be introduced into this sort of section. It could be absolutely anything you want to take on this island. Doesn't matter about practicality of anything. Just choose away. What would you like as your luxury item, my friend?
Would you accept as this desert island can run a DVD player?
Solar powered.
It's so fun. Does it have internet?
Why not?
Good, I'll bring my laptop so I can play Football Manager.
Then send help.
Yeah.
Send.
Well,
Football Manager. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so I have my laptop so I can watch youtube.com/Cannon Chatter TV for all your Arsenal needs. Thanks, and great chat-alongs. I'll also Cultaholic as well. Keep up to date with all the antics,
all the great
from
wrestling
the members there, and I'll play Football Manager. So that'll keep me busy.
Do you have a particular franchise of Football Manager?
Either 15 or 17, because I played them the most.
Okay. And would you, when you log on to this game, would you pick Arsenal or would you go somewhere else?
Well, I would, as much as I would love to take a non-league club from the Conference South all the way to Champions League glory, I'm not that much of a fantastic Football Manager player. I've not managed to do that in my FM career so far, but who knows? One day I will. I'll take one of those teams to glory. One of those teams might be mentioning in my third match.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. So but just to sort of go back, do you want to give us a little spoiler or a little tease? Or?
It's something you wouldn't expect me to say. A lot of when it comes to I know a lot of people would on this show would go for Arsenal matches, which I did obviously, or matches from two fantastic teams like an El Clasico from the days of Ronaldo and Raul or something like that. But this third match is something that'd be quite surprising. Not to me, obviously, but quite surprising from someone else's perspective.
Well, why not go into it then, mate? Why not?
I'm sure you would all know I am an Arsenal fan, obviously, but that's not the only club that I support. I also support my local non-league club of Ebbsfleet United, that is currently in the Conference South. I go there a lot more regularly when we play at home, because let's be honest, the tickets are so much cheaper and the food is a lot nicer as well. I don't know if you follow the Footy Scran on Twitter and you saw the picture of the Fleet Dog, which is our new hot dog at Ebbsfleet. Sausages, cheese, bacon. It's delicious. So delicious. And I will invite you to a Fleet game one day so you could try that delicacy.
Absolutely amazing.
But yeah, back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
The third match is the National League South playoff final between Ebbsfleet United and Chelmsford City in 2017.
Wow!
Yes, you're from Chelmsford.
My hometown.
This might break your heart. This might break your heart, I'm afraid.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, I just realised
you've gone rogue there, haven't you?
Yeah. So,
okay.
From my experience as a big non-league football fan, the 2016-17 season was our glory days. We had a very promising young manager in Daryl McMahon, who I joked about one day he's going to manage Real Madrid. I'm not sure about it now. He's kind of gone off the rail. He's kind of he's not as promising as he once was back, but he was had a lot of future as the manager. He was fantastic. We had great players that used to play League Two level. Danny Kedwell, who was a very experienced Football League player, played for Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon a lot, and he was very strong. He was our big lad up front. Darren McQueen, who I'm going to mention later, he was very promising youngster for non-league. Nathan Ashmore in goal. He was a tremendous keeper. Started off as a bit inconsistent, but he just blossomed into this very great goalkeeper for us. That was the best team I witnessed, and I could talk about it for hours on end, but we'd be here all day. But that season we were the season before, actually, we were top of the league by like 15 points, but we unfortunately bottled it, and Sutton United won the league at the time. Right. And it was a loss to Sutton in that season where we thought, right, we're going to go into the playoffs. It was absolutely heartbreaking, the playoff final, because it was against our main rivals of Maidstone. United, and we got, I can't remember, I think it was 0-0, but we got knocked out on penalties, and it was just soul destroying because we really wanted to go back up to the National League, because, you know, we thought we're too much, we're fed up of the National League South. We want to be, we have a lot of potential in our squad. We have a great manager. We want to be, you know, the dizzy heights of the conference. Yeah, and the way Arsenal are going, one day we'll be playing them in like League One or something. But
don't upset our audience, mate. Don't do that.
It's a joke.
It's all banter, everybody.
Fast forward to 2017, we were still fighting for top spot by Maidenhead of all teams, and unfortunately we finished second, and we were going to have to go through the stress of the playoffs again. But we got to the final against your local team of Chelmsford City, and they were a decent team. They managed, although they did us a favour, they knocked out Dartford in the semi-final, which is always good because us Ebbsfleet fans, we hate Dartford. And
we are the Dartford haters.
We really are.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone, Dartford.
We're not sorry.
Tunnel.
And we were going into the game. We were confident, but we were cautiously confident because they were a good team. And I was at the game. It was a great atmosphere. It was a packed stadium, as I remember.
Mate?
And it didn't start off. Sorry.
What ground was it at, mate?
Oh, it was called Stonebridge Road in Gravesend. It didn't start off well. One of our players, Anthony Cook, got sent off just before half time, and we sort of felt very nervous since then. As the second half went on, it wasn't the team that we were used to back when we battered teams 4-0, 5-0 a lot that season. We beat Welling United 5-0, which another Kent team getting a shout out there. But we went 1-0 down, and we thought, oh God, we're not playing well. We're 1-0 down. We've got to spend another season in this godforsaken division. Nothing against National League South teams, because we're in it now currently. But at the time, we thought we gotta go up we got to go to the next level. We can't go to get another season in there. Yeah. And then suddenly it was 1-1. I can't remember who scored the equaliser. I think it might have been the same person who scored the second one. I don't know, but we'll 1-1. We were like, okay, we weren't in fifth gear when it was 1-1. It was still it looked like we were playing for extra time, and I thought we all thought, because I was with my dad as well. I was saying to him, this is what's going to happen. It's going to go to extra time, go to penalties, and we'll lose on penalties. You just know it's going to happen. The very last kick of the game, it was like 6 minutes of added time, right? I wouldn't say last kick of the game. It was the 92nd minute. Yeah. Darren McQueen, our young promising player, scored the winner for us. The ground was the loudest it ever was. It was a volcanic almost atmosphere. It was just, it was so, I've run out of adjectives to describe it, but brilliant, amazing, fantastic. Almost last kick of the game, we all felt absolutely elated. And the final whistle went, and we were going into the National League. It was amazing, and we all got on the pitch. Whether your thoughts.
Don't do that now, mate.
No,
no, it's strongly frowned upon.
I know, but I think the announcer did say, "Please do not go on the pitch after the final whistle." But I mean, we were all so excited and amazing. I think everyone did, and we celebrated with the players. It was a fantastic feeling, and we managed to stay in the National League for about 3 seasons, and then we kind of got into financial problems, sadly, and it made us lose all our best players. Daryl McMahon left, and we were never the same since, and we got relegated in 2019. But now, if you want, in terms of where we are now, we're sort of, unfortunately, we lost in the playoff final again last season to Dorking, sadly. But I couldn't really see us going back up to the National League that season. I don't think we were that ready, but we seem to be going back to not. I mean, no one can replace the team of 2016-17. That was our glory days from my perspective. But we seem to be going on the up, and this season we're confident of a hopefully going up again. So who knows? But that match, Ebbsfleet versus Chelmsford, my local team versus your local team.
Wow.
We were victorious, and it was a fantastic game.
I would wager that it's going to be the most obscure match that is ever chosen on this brand new series. And I love you for it, mate.
And it was the one that I talked about it the most.
Absolutely fantastic. Is there any of that squad that went up to play Football League standard?
Oh, if anything, the players that played for Football League standards went to Ebbsfleet, because we were actually quite a rich non-league club.
Okay.
We had a lot of money, and we managed to attract a lot of players that had Football League experience. That is probably why the reason why we were a very good team. But we had some players, some good non-league players mixed in there as well. Darren McQueen, as I mentioned, was not. In fact, we've just re-signed him from Cray Wanderers, actually, based in Eltham. So lots of local teams there. But he's a very good player. I always said he could have been a fantastic player and could definitely play Football League one day. Yeah, there must be a couple of players that do play Football League now. I can't think of them at the top of my head.
No, fair enough, mate.
There's probably someone that's really obvious that I'm probably forgetting, but
It's all right. You know YouTube, mate. They're going to correct us.
I know. I'm going to be.
I'm only playing.
Now.
I'm only playing. Well, mate, that is, and again, a direction I never expected. Chelmsford City are blooming call out as well. Thank you.
And you couldn't stop me from talking about it because it was so
absolutely
good.
Nice. Cool, mate. That is what this platform is all about, mate. We give absolutely everybody somewhere to talk to and express how they want to express themselves. Yeah. So look, I'm going to throw a curveball at you here before we sign this off. I don't think I could forgive myself by referring back to where we've all met up and our mutual interests. So, is there space on this DVD? Is there a space for a wrestling match which you'd go to and just give it a watch through for old time's sake? Anything off the top of your head?
Oh God, you're putting me under pressure here.
I did, mate.
I can't think of anything at the moment. I'm actually I'm tempted to go with a match from one of the local shows I was at, but I don't.
Smark.
I know, I'm such a smark. No, I can't think of it at the moment. I'll be very basic and go with the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25 because that was very good. No, I tell you what. Undertaker versus Triple H in 2012, the Hell in a Cell match. That's what I'll go for.
Wow. Okay. This
was one of the greatest near falls of all time.
Absolutely. And this was as Shawn Michaels as referee, right?
Yes.
Wow. God, I got that out of my head as well. Wow. Done. Yeah. So would you like to explain to our people who might not be wrestling people in our community why this was significant and the meanings behind this absolutely incredible matchup?
Well, I mean, 2012 wasn't it had some nice moments, but it wasn't the greatest year in WWE when you had people like Santino Marella frolicking around the ring sometimes. But oh yes, the Cobra. Let's not forget, greatest finisher of all time.
What a sell!
But WrestleMania 28 was a very good, mainly because it was the first WWE pay-per-view that I actually watched properly. I begged my dad to watch it. I begged my dad to buy it for me on old Sky Television, and he was like, "All right, fine." But yeah, I watched it. It was just very good. I watched it over and over again. And that's why it holds a special place in my heart, WrestleMania 28. You had an Undertaker. I mean, the main focus on that event was The Rock versus John Cena, obviously, because that was the box office match. But I'd argue that the match I preferred and my favorite match on there was Undertaker versus Triple H because it brought people back to, the ruthless aggression era of the mid 2000s, and they were at the top of their game back then. They were the top guys, and seeing them, they built this as the end of an era. Obviously, it wasn't, but it was the match where Undertaker's historic WrestleMania streak was in more jeopardy than ever before, and could it happen? Could the streak end? And that near fall where Shawn Michaels, the
special guest referee
into the pedigree by Triple H. I know this is good. I'm alienating a lot of non-wrestling fans here, but that was their finishing moves. And 1, 2, it was a kick out. The streak was not over. It was, and everyone was in disbelief. It just
Michaels in the ring.
I know. And of course, when the match ended and Undertaker won, and you've got that iconic post-match photo of them all with their arms around each other near the Titantron, and it's just it was a very good match.
Brilliant stuff. Well done under pressure, mate. I appreciate that.
Yes.
So let's bring it back before we wrap it all up. So we are literally a week away from our brand new season kicking off. What's your hopes for the upcoming season?
Do you know what? For the first time, I say for the first time, that I'm actually, and this is very rare for me to say it, considering I'm not exactly, you know me as not the most positive Arsenal fan out there, but I'm actually quite confident. I'm quite confident in, like, I'm impressed with our transfer policy, our transfers this season.
Yeah.
The likes of Fabio Vieira, hopefully he'll be like the other Vieira that played for us, fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Gabriel Jesus, I said in like, I think I said in like every chat along I've been on, we need to get Jesus. He'd be a great striker, and we have Zinchenko as well. My dad was taking the mick that we're signing Man City rejects, but I thought, hey, listen,
if they're available,
players, they're good players, father.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
It makes a refreshing choice, and I think if you think with Jesus playing alongside the time he had spent playing alongside Sergio Aguero, how much he would have learned there. You know, give the guy the starting spot.
He's been doing well in pre-season, hasn't he?
He's been fantastic. It might not mean an awful lot.
I know. Pre-season
we won't get too excited, but my goodness me, it looks exciting. And I don't think we're finished yet. I honestly don't think we're finished yet. I think we'll have. I'm pretty sure in the next week or so we'll see players come, and I think we'll see players go. And,
yes, absolutely.
If you can hear something outside, I'm really sorry. There's some language going on which I really do not appreciate. I'll shut my window. If that came through the microphone, I apologise. So
this reminds me of that time. We'll bring up Consumable Pete again when some kids were heckling him, and he went, "Hey, check me out on Twitch."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me. You should have said, "Hey, subscribe to Cannon Chatter."
Exactly, and don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.
Hey, that's plagiarism. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, it's all right. They're good guys over there.
T-shirt.
Exactly, they're very good guys over there. They've been.
But yeah, as I said, I'm very impressed with Arsenal's transfers. I'm actually quite confident for the first time in a while. I was confident during the first season under the Unai Emery reign because we signed a lot of good players then. We started off well that season, but then, you know, everything went a bit iffy there. But I'm confident ahead of this season. You know, I hopefully Arteta can regain my faith again. You're
not his biggest supporter, are you, mate?
Be
honest with us.
No, I think just because you were Pep Guardiola's assistant doesn't mean you're like a very good manager. And we've seen it before. We've seen us bottle a lot of results. We've seen us suffer a lot of defeats. And I think when we sacked Unai Emery, Carlo Ancelotti was available. And we could have got him. But instead he ended up going to Everton instead. I know he didn't do that particularly well at Everton, but I think he could have done a lot at Arsenal. I think he could have attracted a lot of great players. I think it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah. And you know what? I was talking about the same man myself. I think we've spoken about this in the past, mate. Yeah, definitely someone with a major reputation. I mean, you don't go to Real Madrid again for no reason, do you? Let's be honest. But perhaps the club were looking to go in a different direction. Certainly in terms of policy. Look at how they're rebuilding the squad. It's a much younger squad now.
They've got rid of all of the so-called rumored to be toxic players. Obviously, it's all hypothetical, and
we don't know
whether you agree that Aubameyang should have been sold or not. Apparently, the mood in the locker room has been more positive since, I think. So
yeah, I'll go with that. And it transpires itself to the fan element as well. Yes, you might get the occasional comment on Twitter and everything. You know, one bad result might set the whole world on fire just for a little while. But you know, as more of a general thing, I certainly feel the mood is pretty positive. And you know, we come in. I think we're looking in pretty decent shape. Yes, I'm aware that we lost 2-1 to Brentford. Everybody, if anyone on Twitter, this was the other day. If you weren't aware, Posh.
Oh, did we lose to Brentford?
This
I
was
didn't know
a behind closed doors match, 2-1. But
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a pre-season match, so pre-season doesn't really matter. But
if you see the lineup, honestly, I don't think, apart from maybe in Ketia coming in,
okay,
it was El Nini, Sam B was there, but there's a lot of really young and perhaps people
yeah,
like Rob
okay.
Holding as well. Like a lot of reserve,
Resting
not a lot of the
the
big
the big
names were not.
name, yeah,
Yeah,
resting the big name players for the season ahead, and
and perhaps
hopefully,
the Emirates Cup coming up over the weekend, which is going to be exciting.
yes, and remember, the Emirates Cup doesn't really count as a trophy. Pre-season friendly
No,
cups don't count as a trophy. Tottenham Hotspur.
I did. You know what? I think there's something that will, and this is quite a nice way to end this actually. More important than any of our football things we want to talk about here is that finally Arsenal get to remember Jose Antonio Reyes over this weekend, and he's one of them. I've spoken to Lottie on stream about Jose before. One of them January signings that made such an impact, literally straight into the side. Do you remember the cup game against Chelsea where I think he debuted that day, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
and he scored 2 fabulous goals in that cup tie? I remember John Watson was commentating on it. What an impact from the young Spanish guy, you know. Yeah, and it's just a real shame. He was taken so soon. One of the invincible side. He'll be.
And
Yeah, go ahead, Posh.
oh, I was going to say, finish, because I was going to say,
Yeah.
also, it would be very fitting. We paid tribute to Terry Neal, who passed away today.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, at 80 years old, he was the manager of both Arsenal and Northern Ireland. I'm not prepared for this. I was going to do another video on this, but never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's cool. He was around in generation long before us, mate. But I believe he led the side out in '79, I think, for the FA Cup final against Man United. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 2, in the what was known as the 5-minute final. If you're aware of that, if you're not,
It's
ladies and
familiar.
gentlemen, look it up. It was absolutely fabulous, and it's a definition of one of them matches that just you can't keep your eyes off because you never know what is going to happen. So yeah, on that note, and remembering two very great people for two very different reasons. Before we sign out, Posh, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you on Twitter, Twitch, or wherever else you want to plug?
I'm on Twitter at Posh Bertie, Instagram at Bertie Wanless with the dot in the middle. I'm on private, but I will accept requests. Don't worry. Yeah, that's all I can say, and I'll hopefully be on some chat-alongs for the upcoming season.
Absolutely.
And yeah, give us a subscribe.
Excellent stuff. So anyone who feels like following myself on Twitter, Goonerly Meads there. Find us all here at Canon Chatter. Thank you, everyone who has tuned in for this. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Posh Bertie, for giving your evening to us here. Really
My pleasure.
appreciate it. And yeah, keep chatting, everyone.